Welcome to Office Hours with Amber. I'm Amber, and this is Office Hours. Boy, I am tired. I think you guys are tired of hearing me say that, but I don't know how to fix burnout in the middle of burnout, but I'm not burnout. Like, I'm like more energized than I ever have been. Like, there's so much like that I'm looking forward to. Office Hours with Amber. Audio's good. Phone's away. Like, there's so much. It's kind of when the beginnings of trying to believe that the universe is working in your favor, which we're just going to get real philosophical. This week is normally the community call. If people show up, we'll start chit-chatting with them. But for now, you're just going to listen to me yammer on. My hair, it's just everything is a different brand of annoying me today. So the hair's going up because who needs it? But if you were to look back a year ago, let's say, right around this time last year, it was the beginning of the businesses getting started, and at that point it had been like 9 months of just like extremely hard work and like trying to make it all work and just like go all the time. And it wasn't like really like showing the proof yet. Like there was like hints, like this time a year ago, there was hints from the universe that things were going well. But, oh, we've got Emily. Oh my gosh, so excited that she's here. Let's go back to, there we go. Let me make sure I can hear. Emily, there you are. How are you?
Sound.
Oh, you got sound? You can hear?
Just like, okay.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Perfect. Oh my gosh. I didn't realize, because we didn't do a community call last month, that we were going to have to go 8 full weeks until I heard about your goals and everything that was going on again. I'm like, I was horrified. Oh, we got Jack too. Oh my gosh. I'm so glad that she's in between contracts right now, so she's awake.
Up in the middle of the night?
Yep. My sweet Jack, are you there? Fingers crossed. We'll see. But I'm so glad, like, I didn't realize how much time it would be between the community calls. And I didn't realize how much. Oh, there she is. Oh my gosh. Wait, What time is it there? Is it just a light, or is that natural light?
No, that's just the lights in this room.
Oh, what a beautiful light. Well, I'm glad you're between contracts and can join our community calls. I'm so glad.
Yay.
Thank you so much for
not
joining.
Working is a good thing.
Yeah.
This is my normal nighttime sparkly room.
Oh my gosh. What a gift. How cute.
Right?
I love that. Before you hopped on, basically last month, everyone was focused on, oh, Eric coming too. Hell yeah. the last month we were all focusing on trying to prepare for the qualification round, so we didn't do a community call, and I didn't realize how much of a like how important like I knew the community call was important, but I didn't realize how much I'd feel the lack of it throughout the next month. I'm like, man, I haven't talked to all my friends in a while. So, one, thank you guys for being here. And Eric, let's see if he's got his audio. Eric, if you can hear
Can you
me,
hear
say,
me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I'm
Oh
in
my
my
gosh, you're
car.
oh my God, wait, hands on the be safe, please.
The car's
Oh my
driving
gosh.
itself.
Oh, hell yeah. Love that. Well, God bless. I'm glad you can safely join this call today. Um, okay, before I
Poured away.
go into any of my nonsense, I need to hear the updates on not only, I mean, this last month, but the last 2 months. I feel like a lot of our goals were very like competitive Excel focused last month, but round robin, give me the details. Emily, you can go first. What you been up to?
So it's been actually super crazy. In my October goals, I kind of didn't really pay attention to the fact that there would be something going on every single weekend and I would be away
Mm,
for 10 days. And I sort of did my goals as if it was like normal. Um, so yeah, I was a little bit optimistic in terms of what can happen. Um, I didn't expect to qualify, so like to get through the another
mm-hmm.
round, so that was another thing, and I didn't expect to have to watch so much baseball.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so basically, I mean, I'm still making good progress, but it's not nearly what I had on my list, but that was completely unrealistic.
I feel that. I didn't also think I was going to qualify. And so congrats to all of us, all four. That was I was super, and you made it to like through to many rounds, right?
Yeah, except
Oh
that I
my
was
God.
traveling, so it was super,
Horrific.
yeah. So, yeah, so I didn't expect that, which I mean, so it
Oh,
was a nice surprise, but it just kind of
didn't
sucked
line
up a
up with
lot
the
of time.
plans. Absolutely. Are you still in the running or where
No,
did
no,
you
I went out. I went out in
gotcha.
64.
Nice. I mean, still wicked. That's
She
huge.
missed out on the top 48 by like one place.
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
it's
Uh,
like had I done a couple questions manually, which I should have,
uh,
then I know.
That's wild. I'm gonna ask everyone about their competitive stuff here in a sec because I feel like all of you, like, I feel like, well, Jack, wait, we'll talk about the competitive stuff here shortly. But in terms of overbooking yourself on accident, I also didn't think that I was gonna qualify. So that the weekend that all of that was like the next round was happening, I was like, oh, shit, like I guess I gotta move my plans around, which is tougher with travel. Um, but how exciting. Jack, how have I mean, I did receive your new goals, super stoked. What
What
intrinsically you were like
I said to
messaging, you're
like I
like,
have no idea what my October goal was whatsoever.
yeah. Absolutely, which is
Um,
actually something that I'm going to be touching on in my this month for me was the PowerPoint like a pro and
hmm.
like building out my presentation for Vegas. And one of my key learnings from the Off Stars with Amber program is for me, I learned so much, but in terms of like the community aspect, I did not organizationally set up the infrastructure to help anyone else succeed, really, other than like messaging sometimes barely no infrastructure was put in. So organizationally, my capacity was very low. So that has been noted for my next year's stuff. But Jack, in comparison, what were you mildly attempting to do this month versus how did it go?
um, honestly, I was trying to survive this month because I knew I had the last few days in my job straight into a lot of social occasions, which involved lots of small children. Um, and then they asked me to like actually commentate at the last minute on that qualification round, and I'd never done
Mm,
the commentating before. Um, and then kind of coming out of that, I wasn't expecting to get past. I wasn't even expecting to qualify, let alone get to 64. So I was like, oh my God, that's awesome. Um,
that is awesome.
but I have just been probably allowing myself some recovery time, but mostly panic. And I've built up a Google Sheets planner for getting stuff done. And
Wow.
that's been my reorganizing my life thing. And when I tick buttons on tasks, it grows plants and strawberries.
That's
So
wonderful.
Lovely.
that probably the most productive thing I've done all month is creating a planner to make me more productive. And I'm doing stuff, so it's working sort of.
That's awesome. And that dips into, so I'm going to review a sneak peek of an idea that I have for my presentation, and I'll be asking more questions about that later, but novelty is one of them. And that's come from directly from conversations I've had with you, Emily, and like this group. So a lot of basically my entire presentation is just an amalgamation of all the cool things you guys have said over time. So I'll give you your credits now. But Eric, how have things been going? We have been doing our body double session, so I'm familiar with kind of what you got going on. But for the group, how did your month go?
I think my month went okay. I've been focusing a lot on actually doing billable work for clients in order to pay the bills.
Yeah.
Jack has actually been helping me on my to-do list because I keep saying that I need to get videos out, and we're collaborating on some pretty cool little shorts to help people learn about OA Robot. So that is awesome. What else? I think the things that I wanted to learn, I didn't really learn. One of the things I really need to learn is to do some of the editing myself, videos, because now I've gotten to the point where I feel a little bit more comfortable recording myself. I bought a new camera, a teleprompter, what else? Oh, a wireless mic thing that I can put on my lapel so I don't have to have a headset on. I'm like super pro now, but you're still not seeing videos flying out from me. So, and a lot of that comes down to I record myself talking. I'm good at editing out like the ums and the ahs and getting just a bit of that I want. But then when it comes to doing like executing on the vision of what I have in mind, I just am not I'm not a video editor. So and I know practice makes perfect. I just have to keep doing it, but I don't have a lot of time. I have to keep my clients at bay so I can pay for everybody's salaries. So
Absolutely.
You also have to, if you want to do a group project, I absolutely have to do that because I wrote some content for students, right? And I wanted to do videos, and now I'm just stuck as to what's the best way to record it. And again, I bought like some of the gear and the mic, the same thing. And I'm like, okay, I have a script, I have the templates, and now what?
Yep. I feel that.
I'm
And
gonna
that
need help with that.
I have been fighting the editing demon for like literally I've been making videos on YouTube since 2007. And so this has been 20. That's not how math works. 17 years? I don't know. A lot of years of me fighting uphill trying to, like, I'll record something and be so stoked about it. And then the editing step, I'm just like, I'm good at editing. It's just, I'll get it 90% of the way or 80% of the way. And the last 20%, I'm like, I'm okay. Or like the ADHD will run out of fuel before I go to post. And so my quickest of tips on all that is I like being able to preset myself up on OBS of like if there's content like so that I don't have to hack and slash like screen recordings on top of this on top of that. Like I try to just record in OBS with all of the extra doodads that I'm looking for, because the only way and the even if if this live stream was like a pre-recorded thing, it would never make it to YouTube because I think the uploading step is just so annoying. And so the nice thing about this is automatically updates as we're recording. And so that is the only thing that keeps Off Stars with Amber alive. So I very much feel the same way about like have all the assets to be able to film the thing and then getting into editing. Like there's some tips to be able to make it like a quicker process, but my best words of wisdom in any video that's ever been posted is the day that I film it is the day that I edit the 90% or like get it all like over as far over the finish line. Because if I bulk, like even with the Off Stars with Amber, like I've not gone back and clipped anything because I'm convinced that throughout the year at some point someone's gonna be like, hey, do you want someone to clip that for you? And be like, yes. Not gonna happen. But editing the same day and like doing one video at a time from like beginning to end, editing and posting sometimes is the only way it get done. So if you guys find good tips on how to make editing an exciting experience, let me know. Also, body double sessions to be able to edit together. Totally down for that too. Oh, hi, Mr. Banjo. Okay, so in terms of goals, hell yeah, we're all attending Vegas, correct? Thumbs up.
Yes.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay. This would be a crazy time to be like, nope, I'm skipping this year. I'd be so devastated. But so in terms of, there's a few questions that I'm looking forward to hearing is, one, what is the thing you're most looking forward to at the conference? And then two, what keeps you coming back to the conference year over year? So we'll kind of go in the same circle unless there's someone who wants to go first. Otherwise, Emily, it's all you.
Okay. So I mean, I really just go because of all the people who were there. So I think like I mean the conference I find it's interesting. I don't find that like it depends. Like technically, I'm not sure that it's always been the most valuable. I found that either things are at my level, but they're just not things I currently need, or they're not like I think last year there was a bunch of the student ones, like student level presentations. So in terms of like the technical content, it's fine, but I'm not there for that. It's just kind of but now obviously like this year it's kind of tweaked and I'm looking forward to hearing both of your presentations. So that's different. I think it's evolved a lot. I found last year, I was thinking last year it didn't really, I think it's like it didn't really know what it wanted to be, like who it was for.
Yeah.
And
there was such a wide mix of newcomers, but there was like a big shift in the age and the experience level.
Yeah, and you can't really have one thing that works for students and new people to the competition, and that's also, attractive to the experienced competitors. I think that's a really, really hard sell. And and so therefore it kind of landed in the middle. So hopefully I'm looking forward to, and hopefully this year will be a bit more what I need. And obviously, it can happen that it's very great, it's very good. It's just not what I specifically need, but that's, that can be pretty niche. So I'm not like, wasn't upset about it or anything. It wasn't like I came home with a list of actionable.
Yeah.
Whereas I think the year before, I think I did come out with more things.
Absolutely.
But that's okay. Still looking forward to it, but it's mostly the people.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Miss Jack?
Tell you when I'm really looking forward to seeing your presentation, not gonna lie.
Good.
Because I find there's some presentations that I mean I have left the room for. But I mean I use the excuse of Eric needs some help setting up these OA robots rather than anything else. But I mean for me it's probably a different thing. It's more welcome to the office. For me, it's probably slightly different in that I don't enjoy the finance topics as much. And I get what, like, following on from what Emily said, like in the first year, they were actually going to have a basic and an intermediate split. or an Excel and a finance split. They were going to have it split up, and I think they then realized we don't have enough people to justify having enough separate sessions. So it ended up becoming one big thing. But that said, apart from the topics that just don't appeal to me at all, I found something from all of those topics. But what I'm most looking forward to is that, again, the people and gathering and just being able to geek out about Excel in person with people. I mean,
Absolutely.
we're doing it every day now on WhatsApp. So
Yeah.
it's not like it's completely missing from our lives, like it used to. But it is that just seeing everyone catching up and just getting to learn new things about Excel, but also kind of like, just chat and geek out about different aspects of Excel.
Can I just
Absolutely.
jump in on that? So on Saturday, I was at my university reunion. It was homecoming, and we had
Yeah.
a nice dinner, and we were talking to everybody. And then some people had seen my LinkedIn post, so we were talking about that. And people are like, "Okay, well, what is this?" And then also, Vincent, it happened that a lot of people had seen Vincent Morin's article because on the front page of the Quebec newspaper, and that's where we were. So a lot of people had seen that and they'd seen my LinkedIn. So everybody wanted to know, what is this Excel thing, right? And so, everybody's really nice about it, and they're like, "Oh, this is really cool." But at the same time, there's a little bit like, really, like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
what are you doing again?
Yeah.
So there's a kind of
Hmm.
not getting it. So it's kind of fun to, be in the group where, yeah, I get it. Everybody gets it, and there's it's not a
Yeah.
weird thing.
It's not treated like a bit of a joke.
Yeah. Absolutely. Before I interject, Eric, take it away.
Yeah. So some of the things that I'm looking forward to is number one. Well, besides number one's always going to be just seeing everybody and hanging out with like-minded people. But a strong number two is that they're going to be doing the documentary, and I think that's going to add a really
Oh yeah, that will be
interesting
fun.
angle to everything. Because at least for me, I'm not going to be stressed out about the competition part about it. I know I'm not going to get through at the last chance,
Yeah, the
qualifier.
last chance is so tight
And
this year. There's just no chance. You just
yeah. So I think that'll be an interesting part of it. And then I'm really looking forward to the weekend afterwards, where, who all are you guys all going to the
Emily's
house?
missing out this year.
Oh,
Yeah,
Emily, we
yeah,
will be missing you then.
I
But that's
know.
part
And
of it
then
that I'm looking forward to.
I wish.
Although on one of the days, a bunch of people are going to climb to the top of some Angels Landing or something like that. And I asked ChatGPT for the workout schedule I would need to be ready for a 55-year-old that rarely exercises to be ready to climb to Angel's Peak in 45 days. And it was like a 5-day-a-week schedule, like 3 hours a day. I'm like, yeah, that's not gonna happen.
I will not be going on any walks. I'll probably
Nope,
be
me
using the
neither.
fact that everyone's out of the house to just kind of like come down after Vegas, because it's going to be a
Yes.
lot. It's always a lot.
I'm very happy to drive people anywhere. I love driving people around, but I think there's a very good chance I would make it halfway up that mountain, and then my back would go out, and somebody'd have to carry me down.
I almost completely forgot about the trip that we're taking after, like the days after Vegas. Like my brain is only in like, get there and get your presentation right and get through announcing and get through.
Right now, it's like we've got Saturday deadline, don't we, for this?
Yeah.
For submitting our presentations.
Yes.
So right now, I've kind of gone from not like having a week down after work to panic trying to get a job for a week, and now I'm panic trying to get my presentation done for a week before going back to panicking and trying to get a job.
Yep.
So I don't think I'm going to think about it until I'm practically in Vegas, and then I'm going to be like, it's just a blur of everything until we can until like the after party. Then it will be like,
Yeah, absolutely. Um, to touch on all those points, I'm always super stoked about the people, exactly like you were saying, is like talking to friends about it. I feel like I'm talking to them about a cult. I'm like, like it's just this the stuff, and you pay some money and you show up at this place and we all like have fun and then we did this thing and whatever. Like I sound crazy when I talk about it, but how I described it the first year I went was like I felt like at Anheuser-Busch I was a data island by myself. Nobody cared about the data that I did. And then being in a room of 100 people that were other data islands from other companies. And it was like this Pangea Frankenstein of every data island coming together and like having like a perfect society with an ecosystem, like a perfect economy. And like it just was like everything made sense there because everyone is equally like in like how I say is generously intelligent or like generous with their intelligence of everyone in that room, whether it's like I was sitting next to Jordan Goldmeyer the first year and he was just stoked to just chit chat and like everyone's just equally awkward, but also equally so interested in what everyone else has to say. And it's like, I would say for how antisocial you'd think this event was, it's actually wildly social because we're all talking the same language. It's very silly.
The most social you'll ever see me.
Yeah. And a real difference I found between year one and year two was year one, there was like no, like I just walked in and just met people and then, got into like the women in financial modeling WhatsApp, but like that like didn't have the legs that the WhatsApp group now has grown into be because last year, the first few days, I think someone invited someone who invited someone to like the Vegas chat. And then that has anamorphed into this wildly successful WhatsApp group community, which has been really great. But now it's what I'm really excited about this year is it's always the people, but every year the wake up call I needed was last year, figuring out that the actionable things I took from 2023 didn't happen, which kicked off this whole thing. And then I'm excited to wear my sparkly attire and talk to more people about more data. Like that's always going to be that. But this year, it's nice that I'll be able to put so many faces to names of like, oh, you're that guy. Like you've been in the chat. That's who you are. Like meeting a lot of the people that have kind of been in the like active in the chats. It'll be nice to meet a lot of them in person, or at least reconnect a name to a face. And the funny thing is Jade, who's been working with the FMWC team, we had met year one. Emily, we had lunch with Jade year one. She was at our table. Yeah, it was me, you, I think Jakob, and if we were at that table, and then him, he's dating. Yeah, I think he's dating Jade, and they were sitting together at the table that year. So we were talking.
Oh, and, that's who she is.
Literally crazy that we met. Like, and so I was chit chatting with her about whatever, which I need to order shoes. Forgot about that. I was talking to her because
I feel like you need an OA robot command just for ordering shoes, or
I do
ordering bits of bling to stick onto stuff.
Yeah. Meanwhile, I just got this in the mail, the Just Peachy sweatshirt. I want to get merch, and like I'm the problem is I don't want to put merch on a website that other people like I haven't tested myself and so I don't want to just do like the Amazon direct to ship whatever if it's like shitty glitter. So I've been working on merch separately because I'm like I want to see other people in my sparkly stuff, but I did just order a Cricut heat press, so I'm gonna be my sparkle games up above. Actually,
the sparkle shoes are right next to the packing, right next to the suitcase. So they will be
okay. Do you guys want a sneak peek of my announcer outfit?
Yes.
Okay. Eric, you've already seen this, but one sec.
I'm gonna guess there's a bit of sparkle in this.
A bit. I'm thinking a lot.
Sparkle pants. Full ass
so cool.
sparkle pants. Do they fit me right now? No, not really. So we're on an extreme weight loss between now and December. So I just need to lose like another 10 pounds and they will be perfect. But otherwise, I can't breathe unless they explode. So I am prepared for it.
Wait. Are you going to be are you going to be on the stage, or are you going to be in the commentator's booth?
So I'll be announcing. So I'll be like on the stage, I believe. Because otherwise I'd
Okay.
wear those pants for my presentation, but I've got a different outfit for that. But yeah, you guys are getting the sneak peek. But
So like
yes.
where Katrina was, like you're gonna.
Yeah, for
Okay.
I'll be doing that for the MECC. So thankfully
Yeah.
much lower stakes. So there's not like direct to ESPN. So yeah, that'll be much lower stakes, and I'll be doing that with the average finance bro. So it's gonna be me and him. And so I think the problem is he's so funny that I'm like, we can't have two funny people. Someone's gotta, get the information out. So I'm like, uh-oh. I was like, they think it's gonna be me. So we're gonna have to rock, paper, scissors for goof. Otherwise, we're just gonna be two idiots. That's okay. That's all right.
I mean, I feel like that's what Giles was thinking last year when he was like paired with us in the commentators booth. He was like, hang on a second, I'm going to have to be the person that actually knows what I'm talking about. Because I'm literally just going to shout, oh my God, what just happened?
Yeah, which God bless because when they first asked me, I was like commentating for this. I was like, I don't even know what I'm looking for. Like what? And then they were like, no, announcing. I'm like, oh God bless. Thank God. I can ask questions and chit chat. I mean, yeah. So I'm super excited about that. But yes, I also want to get like a consistent shoe supplier of like who because right now it's just Amazon, but we'll get there. But anyways, yes, super excited to talk to people. And then I'll be doing this is when December 4th last year is when I did my entire 2025 business plan was on the flight home from there. So I'll be doing during our like Zion Airbnb adventure, I'll be bringing Angel, I'm gonna need you to relax. I'll be bringing like my wall sticky notes to do my 2026 planning, which will be formalizing my ideas on the Click Around and Find Out series. So Office Hours with Amber won't look like this next year. I'm like probably gonna talk to most of you guys during the during the Vegas week on like, what should this even look like? I don't know, because who could be sure? I'm glad it's still going to be something weekly, something live stream, but I don't have any ideas. But I digress. Okay. Side note. So, I haven't looked into the last chance qualifier like rules and stuff, but it's pretty tight this year. Are you guys going to try or what's
I mean,
the
it's going to
vibes?
be fun to do the case.
True.
Exactly. I mean, it's included. We're still gonna sit there. Otherwise, you just gotta leave or watch people do it. So may as well
That's
do it.
true. That's absolutely true. And then who knows? That might
You
be
never
our
know.
chance. The future is female. Okay, fun. Are you gonna do anything? So in comparison to like the qualification round, are you guys gonna do any prep to practice beforehand, or is it just gonna kind of walk in and get into it?
Nah,
So,
Me either.
nothing. Absolutely no chance. I
I
know that my odds are like 0.000 something percent. So I'm just gonna like focus on my presentation, which I have 100% probability of doing.
yep.
Um, and if my odds of 0.00 whatever percent come out, then I'm just gonna literally find the goofiest outfit I can wear, run about in it, and like compete as fun.
Absolutely. Agreed completely. I was like, I didn't even barely practice for the actual rounds. Like I did my best, but like we got by just based on like our sheer talent, guys. Oh, it's funny.
Well,
Um,
one thing that I did is last year's it was the what was it called? Something about an elf.
oh,
Oh yeah.
yes.
Yeah. So that one I did horrible on, and it was because I used my table lookup lambdas, which some like
Mm.
Dim and Jeremy and some other people have started using, and they're like, "Oh wow, these are so cool!" And I had to put something in the OA Robot chat like, "Yeah, except if you use them on a table that has 10,000 records in it, because then it'll like freeze up your whole machine. So be
Uh,
careful."
Yeah.
And I finally went back after 10 months later. I went back and figured out where the performance bottleneck is, and there actually was one that I was able to fix. So now
Ooh.
my new table lookup lambdas are actually fast, even with tables with 10,000 records in them. So that
Ooh.
is So now I have to start doing a little bit more practicing using that feature.
Cool.
He showed me the changes.
That's very
It
cool.
was wicked. And I'm still very obsessed with the timer function. And I know you said Bo created it, but you putting it into OA Robot's huge. Have you guys heard about the timer, like the function timer?
I just saw it go by in the
Oh,
chat.
Yeah, you can basically
Mhm.
wrap an existing formula with a lambda that will return back how long it takes to calculate that particular cell. So, and then you can choose whether you want to also include the regular output, so it'll stack them on top of each other. And if you use that in combination with audit formula steps, so the audit formula steps is the one that'll take a lambda that has a bunch of let variables in it, and it'll break them up into separate cells, one for each let variable. Then you can basically break it up into separate cells and then use the timer on each individual cell as you go through and figure out which of the cells it is that is the slow one. So it's basically a
Yeah.
way to isolate. If you have something that's being very slow to calculate, you can pinpoint where exactly it is, like which let variable, let step it is that is the slow part. And that's what I did for the table lookup lambdas in order to speed it up, which ended up being I should have used nested ifs instead of a switch statement, because if you use switch, it actually evaluates all of the different options, even though you're only going to use one of them. Whereas if only evaluates the true clause for each of the if statements. So if is always the best for performance, not switch, and not ifs. IFS. IFS also is inefficient in how it does it. So
Has anyone ever used ifs?
Not once.
I
yeah,
know.
I've definitely used it, but yeah, now it's unfortunate that you can't. I don't know
So,
why they
Yeah.
didn't just make it.
so Eric, then if
So
I understand correctly, you would be better off if you are doing a nested if, then in terms of performance, if you have one of the sides that's going to eliminate a lot of things, do that one first. Well, put that
yeah,
one so that,
that's right. The most likely one to be true, you want to have in your outer if.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
So
you
that
can
it's
eliminate, like,
not.
so if you can eliminate, 40% right away, if blank,
Yeah.
then blank. And then, because that's
Yeah.
easy, and then that's easy, and then
And
don't worry.
the other thing is, part of the reason that you want to use switch is because whatever it is that you're evaluating, you may not want to evaluate that 5 times. Like if that takes some time to run, you only want, with a switch, you only have to evaluate it once, and then it'll use the value of what that's equal to figure out which switch branch to go down. But if you do it with nested ifs, you have to recalculate it each time you're trying to compare in each if clause. So then the better way to do it um, is to have one extra let variable that's pre-calculating what it is you're checking, putting
Your
that in a
test, yeah.
variable, and then that way it only does that part once, and then all of the rest of the things um, it just reuses that variable. That seems to be very fast.
Which is
Good to know.
so cool. Watching him, like, especially being able to use the timer to be able to see which steps are taking the longest. And then that gives you one place to then, instead of having to adjust, adjust, enter, wait, adjust, enter, wait, you can just say, oh, here's the problem. And then looking just at that thing is like, why is that, or how is that performance wise different? Which is like, so industrial engineering in my bones, especially like being able to process map it, which really lets are just process maps with data, and being able to map the entire process and time it to see where your bottleneck is, like that sings in my heart so deeply. So that is so cool. But it's hilarious that like an issue that arose 10 months ago now has made its way back around into your ether, and then has been like so monumental of a change. And that's like that kind of find is something that you would only learn from like the thousands of hours we spend in Excel. For instance, like other people would never notice the like milliseconds and the small seconds that pile up, whereas we feel the friction of like, why is this taking so long when it's just this? Like it's just like, and it's that same thing with, I think, when I started moving into dynamic array land and understanding arrays versus range versus cell versus whatever, like when you're first learning Excel, you don't really see those as different words. You're just like, oh, it's looking for something, but you don't really know, like if it says range or array or whatever, you don't realize how much other places it could be used. And so that's where, as I got better with understanding, oh, these are array functions that work well with arrays or only with ranges or only with whatever, it speeds up your ability when you're competing to be like, oh, I have this kind of amount of information. Here's the kind of, it's like a pre-built sub-bucketing in your brain of like, here's functions that fit with that kind of data types or data structures. And I don't think I've ever articulated that by learning dynamic arrays, it's actually helped me put vocabulary to all of the different nuances that the functions exist with. For instance, like some ifs like is looking for a range and then like criteria for that range. It's not looking for arrays. And so difference with like XLOOKUP where it could handle arrays versus ranges versus whatever. And so it's cool that and especially I think the next step in my journey is optional criteria or like you're saying, like take is looking through all of it rather than there's some that don't look through all of the requireds or whatever level of like, if you give it the answer, it'll work faster. Those are like such micro, teeny, tiny things to know that create such operational efficiency inside of workbooks that nobody feels until you get to a point where all of the 10 seconds and the 5 seconds all pile up on each other. And then you've got like this slow ass workbook. And so it's cool to be able to see like you now have a path for finding the needles in the haystack, which is lights me up. Okay. So I have of course I never structure questions very well, but I have an hypothesized equation for change that I'm going to be using as the kind of playbook that how people can basically take the inspiration they take at the conference and actually put it into routine outside of the conference. And so because I want to be able to make this fluffy subjective stuff become objective for people in the room. And that is the bit for bit equation for change. And so I've got 4 hypothesized categories that I believe are the most the most well categorized categories I need for change. But how to describe this question? When there's something you don't want to do, what are characteristics of things that get you to do it? So for instance, Jack making a like the novelty of growing the tree.
Planning spreadsheet,
Or for instance, the routine of daily habits or monthly habits, or your bingo card is kind of novelty, but it creates routine. And so what are things you've found have helped you do things you don't want to do or do things you often don't do? Such a loose question. Oh, Eric, go for it.
The reason I got into automation was because when I started my career as an actuary, and everything that I had to do was like so tedious and repetitive that the only way I could stand to do it was to automate it.
Yeah.
And it was so much more fun to automate it. And it gets the job done in the end, like you get the work done. But I would
The
stay
thing is, you're
late.
also in an industry where they actually like you doing that.
Yes,
So they don't
appreciate
like,
it.
they don't have a go at you for wasting time doing that when
I was very happy to stay late, work long hours, programming something to do my work, even if it took longer to program it than it did to actually do the work manually. I'd gladly spend the time automating it. And I think that's the same thing now. When if there's work that I need to get done, I'm like, how can I write a robot command for this? And by writing the robot command and you have to test it, then you're actually getting the work done and testing it, and it kind of makes the work fun. So that's for sure for me, as I just em employ automation in everything that I do.
Which the undertone is mild novelty, but it's also you're creating capacity because it's which is kind of meta, where you're like, to get things done, I actually enjoy the process of creating capacity
You're
for
making
me
it
to,
fun.
yeah. So it's like
Yeah.
kind of dips into
And
two of them. Nice.
how different people make things fun is going to be different. If you're not into automating things, that's not how you would make it fun. But like
Mm.
I see
Absolutely.
you work a lot of times and you have like all these different colors going on with your highlighters and stuff like that.
Oh
And
yeah.
that's just like an approach to, if you only had one highlighter, you'd be like, I don't feel like working on this. But you get 10 different colors available, and all of a sudden it's like, okay, I think I can do this.
Yeah, it does come down to fun markers and sticky notes. Absolutely.
I think my thing that I always find helps me do the things that I need to do, or kind of get past a bump, is gamifying stuff. And it's definitely the autism. But if
A
I
blessing.
can, like, my favorite games are like games where you can get 100% in the game by collecting all of these things and doing all of those things and finishing all of these things or whatever. And in the same way, I just find a way to either, it used to be kind of like in a bullet journal, I would like have all the things that I wanted to get through and have like a little thing that I have to fill up, and then I get a little sticker at the end, or like now with the Google Sheets, I'd find a way of setting up a system that feels like I'm clocking a game by doing what I need to get done.
Absolutely.
Bingo.
I'm totally writing down a note right now that we need an opt-in gamify within OA Robot, so that everybody who opts in, it'll send counts to our database of how many robot commands you've run today, or like we can slice and dice
Oh,
it
you
if
can
we
have a
want.
leaderboard.
And then
Yeah.
we can keep track of like who's running the most robot commands and stuff like that, because I think that would be really interesting to see.
I
Yeah.
1 gazillion% agree, because like think about Orange Theory. Your effort points are up on a screen with everyone else's, and by the end of that workout, based on your heart rate and things that you have control of, but how much harder you're working than everyone else. And so gamifying the effort put into whatever, I think, is really fun. And I think that does drive also competition between, especially if there's some gold stars, like it's like whoever uses it the most gets, like, I don't know, a free pro membership or like a beta. Actually that would give you your like very objective data of who gets the new beta features first, is like who's your most like used clients, or who uses the most. So then you don't even have to do it based on like the subjectivity of who uses it. You just, now it's objective of
Well,
the people
what you
that
can do is we can add a property to the commands, where you can specify how much time you think your command saves you. And then
that's
not
huge.
only can it keep track of counts, but it could actually keep track of how much time you estimate you have saved using it, so that you
Yeah.
can justify to your boss, look how much time I've saved, or like whatever. And that's hard to compare across different people, because some people will, run a command that runs them a report and saves them like 2 hours or something like that. But I think
that's
it'd be really
huge.
interesting to see.
Oh, 100%. And then that's like when I mean, not to expand this completely, but when you, like, similar to the way that Faye Board Bar in London presented, is like, I helped train all these people on this thing, and they all submitted their hours of how much time it saved them, and it saved like 8 billion whatever pounds or something.
Oh,
And
yeah.
so that's where, when you take that to bigger companies and be like, hey, I have saved people this much salary time, it's like, can you fight this data? No. And like, I think that's huge for your selling strategy of it too, to be able to say like, I've saved individual organizations this much with just one person, let alone think about enterprise level, especially with all the new features. Huge. That's so cool.
I love it.
That's awesome. Emily, what other ways, rather, the bingo, I think you were the first person to introduce like, especially your, not to completely steal your answer, but like your board with your level 10 life, with like making that fun and exciting and cute. And then your bingo card, like what other ways, or rather expand upon the ways that you've either gamified your stuff, or like, how do you get yourself, what other ways do you get yourself to do things?
So when I'm doing my goals, the other thing I've recently found that works better is I do better if my goals are wide and not deep. Because then on any given day, like let's say I have to do I want to do a goal and it involves like a lot of deep work and I've got to do a certain amount like every day in the month to achieve this. That's not necessarily going to work, right? If it's like, okay, I need to do 10 minutes every day, well then, that's like my, like let's say my physio routine. Like, oh, okay, that I can do. No problem. But for things like, yeah, I won't necessarily want to go deep, so I've got to have enough variety in them, picking up a little bit of everything, so that like today, you wake up and you're like, yeah, no, I'm not doing that, like not
Yeah.
gonna happen. So if the choice is not doing that and doing this, or yeah, I'm not doing that, so therefore I'm not doing anything because nothing on my list is speaking to me today. So for me, therefore, having like a variety of things on your list, all of which are helping you in some way, is very helpful for me. And also having them be lots of teeny little things. So again, you're not feeling it, and then you can convince, yeah, no, but it's only 15 minutes. I can do that.
Yeah.
And then after, then you can fool yourself into doing another thing. But again, if I have something on my list that takes 2 hours, then that takes a special kind of day to make it happen.
I feel that so deeply. My to-do list lately has been like humongous tasks that I have somehow been like, I've been doing what you're describing is like, I used to put the cart like, oh, this, I have to do this first so I can do this second, and I can't do anything else until this thing is done. And that's how I've been interacting with my PowerPoint, because that like has to get done. So Saturday, I like my internet was down, and so I kumbaya'd and I just worked on the PowerPoint, which was actually really good because I didn't have the internet. So I had to only use I could have hotspotted, but I was trying to just lean into like what's in my brain. And so I actually did a full outline, and then I went into each section of the outline, and then I worked on that subsection, and then I worked on that slide. And then now I've just got every bit of information that I could possibly, now I just make it cute, which is so much easier now that I've gotten over that hump. But the whole to-do list is so completely humongous tasks, so I've been trying to break them down into like their subparts, and get, like you were saying a bit ago, was if it's ambiguous and deep, only give yourself, okay, I'm going to work on this for an hour or 30 minutes, and if that's as far as I get today, cool, and if I get further, awesome. But to homogenize the ideas that you guys have kind of brought up, there's 4 components that I'm proposing as the equation for change or equation for growth. And I don't know what the other, like growth, action, change, learning, whatever, but I used to say people, process, technology, and routine, but I'm shifting that into value, novelty, accountability, and capacity. And so value being like, what do I as a person, what are my values that I live by? Honesty, integrity, like innovation, growth, whatever. What is the value I'm going to get from this thing I'm learning about or doing? And what is the value I could provide with that thing I have now. So for instance, I want to use dynamic arrays because it'll make me faster, but then also I can provide value to companies because I know this thing that can help them too. So similar novelty, I think you guys are all like the masters of gamifying things, making it cute, getting it like making like automating it so you're excited about the thing that you're doing. Accountability, I've talked about recently a little bit, but that talking about like where are your respected perspectives. So if a fourth grader tells me I'm smart, sure, thank you. But if like you guys tell me I'm smart, that feels like really nice feedback. Or rather, like if you tell me something like constructive feedback, it means a lot more coming from you because you're a respected perspective. And so I'll be asking questions in that way of like, instead of asking who holds you accountable, I'll be asking the supplemental questions of, if I was to text you every day about a goal, would you feel empowered or controlled? Or how does that make you feel, good or bad? Likely peer accountability isn't going to work for you or daily peer accountability might not work in that way. So accountability and then capacity. And this capacity part is more talking about your emotional capacity, your physical capacity, your organizational capacity, talking about what systems and structures are in place to make sure that, or what routines are in place and how do you track and manage that. For instance, like what I find is and that's where like your environmental factors come in. So for instance, if I get home, I'm in itchy pants that don't fit and I haven't showered in 2 days and I'm feeling icky. And like, if everything feels icky on me, I can't focus. I don't have the actual capacity to learn because I'm so enamored with like the lack here. Similarly, like talking about, for instance, like new parents, you might not have the physical capacity to go and do this other thing unless you create capacity. So it's like, what are we taking off the plate or how are we carving out time so you do have the capacity? So those are the 4 groups that I'm expanding on and showing the levers. Basically, like if one without the other 3, or for instance, like I think we've all kind of recognized, like if our calendar's booked, if we're in the middle of planning a championships, if we're in the middle of, trying to make sure there's money on the table for my coworker, like there's a lot of capacities that we just don't have control of, but we also sometimes do have some control within. And so I'm going to collect data at the beginning that I'm excited about, but I'm going to try to not spoil anything else, but that is my hypothesized equation for change that I'm going to start tracking and monitoring. Basically, the subjective feeling of there's not enough time in the day actually comes down to a objective equation, which is in those 4 buckets of assessment of, are you doing things aligned with your values? Is it novel enough you care about it and are excited to do it? Do you have people around you to talk about and be excited with? And then do you have the capacity to actually accomplish that? And so I think I just have to get a lot done by Saturday, but it's going to be good.
I think the other thing that goes like, and it maybe just another way of like about the values is, does cognitively it make sense to do that for you, right? Some people are like, this is the thing to do, and some people will just do it the right way, right? And other people will be like, well, that doesn't make sense, and then you have to go down this whole path of arguing with yourself about whether or not you should do it that way or whatnot. So I think there's also, can you rationalize this as actually being the correct thing to do? And does it work for the way you think and you, like the one, like I think of like, if you've ever seen like those personal finance things and there's 2 main ways of like paying down your debt. Like the best way in terms of actually saving money is you put, you pay down the ones with the highest interest rates first, right? But a lot of people will actually say that they do better by getting rid of the smallest things first, regardless of the interest rate, because then they don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
And so, even if it's not the correct way, if you're making progress and it makes more sense to you. So I think there's something in there to that. So there's the aligning with your values, but there's that, cognitive thing of like,
absolutely.
It's kind of like value as well, but it makes sense. Like yeah, it makes sense.
Absolutely. No, that's great. And I like it's like basically I'm just on the treasure hunt to like find more words to articulate what's in my head, but like and that's been the whole like the entire last 10 months of community calls and talking with you guys and working with you guys and seeing how we've like all either achieved or not achieved our goals and what led to that is like this is how the evolved version of people, process, technology, and routine has actually like transformed into like when Ashley was saying like if if your this word doesn't fit, look at its next door neighbors of instead of like a comply or consistency compliance or consistency, whatever she said, but like looking at the next door neighbors of words. And so that's important for you to put the next door neighbors to value as like cognitive like ability to rationalize it cognitively is like more words that add into that sub bucket. So fantastic. Okay, I'm done.
Sorry, and one more thing that was also helpful is that someone he recommended giving whatever your goal is or your habit or whatever a fun name.
Yep.
So he was wasn't trying to stop drinking, he was trying to drink less. So he made it his glass ceiling, right?
Cute.
And it was easier to kind of integrate that. And there was those like all sorts of different things. He found it's like as soon as you gave like a little pun or a catchy name or something. And I'm like, so that's just something like, oh yeah, that's kind of a neat way to do that as well.
Absolutely. And similarly, when we all kind of envisioned our perfectionist demons as like a character instead of this thing that looms, it's like, oh, that's just the groundskeeper that's yelling at me. That's just the monkey on my back. Like I was talking to Eric the other day. I was like, the monkey's off of me. I got to sprint. He's like, why are you drinking Red Bull at 11 p.m.? And I'm like, don't ask me. I got to go. Like, I got to keep going. The monkey's off. And so similarly, like putting a fun name around it creates that novelty to be able to like, it now is like Office Hours with Amber didn't have to be like a whole branded thing. It really was just like a fun name for my learning strategy this year. And similarly with Click Around and Find Out, now I'm like branding my New Year's resolutions, which is, I mean, it's working because then if I'm talking about it, it sounds like more of like a brand strategy than it does like a silly way to get me to do stuff. But cool. Okay. Any last words of wisdom from the squad? Otherwise, I'll let you get back to your Monday. Jack, what are you making? What is that? A pickle?
It's not as bad as that.
Oh my God.
Oh, you started
This
it.
is
You started. Yay.
That's hilarious.
And I've just started this with this one, but it's definitely I'm gonna run out of yarn a bit too soon.
Dang.
I did
This is
did
not a
try.
pickle. Yeah.
Take one did not work. So I'm on to
Okay.
take 3.
That's hilarious.
And I did a couple of takes, and then I was like, I'll leave it with Emily. And now you know the patterns that I sent you. I think I'm
Yeah.
gonna try and use that second one, and just go for it with one of them properly.
Yep.
So
I'm having
I'll
problems
let
with
you know how
scale.
that goes.
You guys are way more crafty than me.
You
I
And
have
so-
a
and I
silver
need
stick
some-
right now.
I have a pile of magnets that I like form into interesting
Oh.
shapes.
Ooh, fun.
As my
I have
as
some
my
magnet
toy.
balls. I
but
can
they
bring
very
them to like
much-
pile onto your magnet pile.
Yeah, but they very much get destroyed every day, so I have no proof afterwards that I created anything cool.
take pictures next time.
And I'm gonna need lots and lots and lots of good vibes Sunday morning for me because it's my race.
Yay! Woo!
Yeah. So
How
very
far?
kind of worried about that.
How long is it?
21.
Oh my God. I'm sending you all of the best of vibes because that's going to be wild. You got it. It's going to be
Yeah.
great.
It's
Are
gonna
you-
be great.
I'll be
That's
resting in bed and
super
thinking of you.
impressive.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
that's super impressive.
That is
So-
so impressive.
Well, after you complete
yeah.
it, post a photo in like whether it's the Discord or somewhere. We
Yeah.
will all be celebrating you on that day. Oh my gosh, how exciting. Man, what a recovery. You know what I mean? Like last year with like all of the, like physical roadblocks in your way and like you were off like in your travels, and then now you're running races. Like, that's so exciting.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is
It's going to be
super
very,
fun.
very slow, but
But don't mess it
Done.
up and come back this year to Vegas with a broken leg or foot.
I no,
Yes.
no, that
Easy
I
on
will
yourself.
do my best.
Yeah, stretch properly.
Instead of saying break a leg, do not break a leg.
No,
Yeah, break
no,
no legs.
I've done that. I've done that. I don't need to do it again.
Yeah, no, we already developed that character plot. That was so funny. All right, thank you guys so much for coming. And our next community call will be 1 week before I see you. So we'll catch up 1 week before the conference. So